Hey, what is up people? This is Johnny and today we're going to do another Super Mario Odyssey video referencing Super Mario 64 Easter eggs or referencing Super Mario 64. Now, this one is actually not really referencing Super Mario 64, but it looks really similar to the one to Super Mario, which is like 2. I know he appears in different games, sometimes even as a bad person, sometimes as a good person. But it's pretty awesome. This time around, he doesn't actually attack you, I believe. He doesn't even attack you, so this time you can actually control him. I would say that's sort of a Super Mario 64 reference. This was the guy in Super Mario 64 where he was basically just allowing you to use him as a camera. Well, he was your cameraman in the game, and you can switch the angles and everything from. So I would say he's actually part of the gameplay of the game for Super Mario 64. So it's a pretty nice little thing that they brought him back here, and you can control him as well. I wish he had his camera. That would make it look way cooler to a Super Mario 64 references. Alright guys, let's get right on to the next reference. The next one is the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, the Mushroom Kingdom is actually a pretty awesome reference to Super Mario 64. We actually seen the Mushroom Kingdom in several different Mario games, but this is pretty cool because this is kind of like the closest one to Super Mario 64. And another thing that they added in the game, that you can actually unlock a Yoshi at the top of the castle. Remember back in Super Mario 64, people were wondering if you could play as Yoshi. Well, now you could actually play with him, which is actually pretty awesome, by going at the top of the kingdom. So it's actually pretty cool, guys, and I believe this is a big reference to Super Mario 64 in Super Mario Odyssey. Alright guys, the next reference to Super Mario 64 is a costume that you can get in Super Mario Odyssey. Believe it or not, this is the 64 Mario costume that you can buy, and you will also be able to play around with it with your sprite. So that's actually the best thing that I feel that they added into this game, that you literally have a costume that makes you look like Super Mario from 64 with the lower end graphics on it. Now the animations are a bit different, but the purpose of it was to have animations from Super Mario 64 as you can play with Mario when you wear this costume. This is probably one of the best things that they did in Super Mario Odyssey. Alright guys, so the final one that I'm definitely going to be mentioning in this video is actually going back to one of the same levels or areas as Super Mario 64. Now, as you guys can see, even the animations and everything in this room are actually the same as the Super Mario 64 textures, but they have been upscaled. So they didn't really change anything about this room, guys, but this was actually a pretty awesome thing that they did, because believe it or not, this was in Super Mario 64 and it has the same animations, and you're going back in this area to get a moon, but at the same time it's pretty cool, guys. I wish we could actually go back to old levels that you could do in Super Mario 64, but this is actually pretty cool too, guys, that it allows us to go into an area in the Mushroom Kingdom that stayed intact as Super Mario 64. Even the animations look different for the same reason that they wanted to keep it classic, as the old Super Mario 64. So I think this is a pretty cool reference to Super Mario 64. Now, the next reference is actually a pretty cool one. This is the old artwork portals that you can go in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, they're around the whole kingdoms, around the whole game in Super Mario Odyssey, that you can jump to him and unlock him in different locations. But there is a really awesome one in the Mushroom Kingdom where it basically has the same music as Super Mario 64, and when you jump on it, it has the same effect and music that it does. But it only allows you to come back and boss battle your previous bosses that you already beat in Super Mario Odyssey. So I think this is actually one of the coolest references as well. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this video, and if you found any different references that I didn't mention in the video, guys. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.